These sinister and lifeless waters may hold the secret of the wickedest cities on earth.
One has to understand that nobody in the history of the world has ever touched the bottom of the Dead Sea.
Forgotten by time, forsaken by God, are the Bible's cities of sin preserved in the salt of this acrid, chemical sea?
We don't know what's out there. No one knows what's out there. And the sea floor that no one's ever been on before, we don't know what we're going to find. It could be anything.
2 years ago, we were diving on a shipwreck, and I didn't think we'd find anything, and we found $5 million worth of gold. So, yeah, I'm not as much of a skeptic as I used to be.
What's planned is a journey into the depths of wickedness, into danger, myth, and evil.
I'm scared. I mean, this is not something that I like to do, and I'm very apprehensive.
Thousands of years after its people perished in a storm of burning sulfur, it's a voyage in search of Sodom and Gomorrah. Lying between Israel and Jordan, the Dead Sea and the lands around it are at the heart of the Bible story. King Saul camped here in the clifftop caves as he hunted his rival David, the slayer of Goliath. On the road from Jerusalem to Jericho, maybe Jesus himself once walked here. Mike Sanders is a biblical scholar with a lifelong quest to penetrate the myths of time and find solid evidence for the events described in the Bible. The fate of Sodom and Gomorrah has always fascinated him.
These two cities were the epitome of evil in the world at that time. And in spite of Abraham actually negotiating with God to save the cities, God, in the biblical story, decides to destroy them by a fire and brimstone.
This punishment has made Sodom and Gomorrah bywords for sin, lechery, and sexual perversion. But for cities so notorious, Sodom and Gomorrah are notoriously difficult to locate.
The biblical story, however, is absolutely clear that they were to the north of Jerusalem.
But in spite of extensive excavation in this area, not a trace has ever been found. So archaeologists widened the search, and where better to look for two dead cities than beside a lifeless sea?
Many people believe that Sodom and Gomorrah, if they exist at the edge of the Dead Sea. But the cities have never been found.
The cities seemed determined to hide their shame from history, but then Sanders found a clue. Not from antiquity, but from much more recent times.
There are maps that are actually published in 1650 showing Sodom and Gomorrah beneath the Dead Sea.
What would a 17th century mapmaker know about the true location of Sodom and Gomorrah? It seemed simply a flight of artistic fancy, until apparent confirmation came from an unexpected and totally modern source.
3, 2, 1, lift off, 30 minutes after the hour.
In 1994, the Space Shuttle Endeavour set off on a mission to photograph the Earth from space. The latest radar technology can reveal features invisible to the human eye. The scientists were looking for information on minerals, vegetation, and the use of fresh water. They never imagined that photographs from space could throw new light on the fate of Sodom and Gomorrah. According to the received wisdom of geology, the bottom of the Dead Sea should be completely flat. But according to the shots from space, it wasn't.
My first reaction when I saw the NASA photographs was that this was something unique and startling. There were a whole series of strange features that shouldn't be there, which we call anomalies. One is a rectangle of dots, which appear too regular to be natural formations. The other is a feature that looks like a collapsed pyramid. All the experts we've talked to, who are geologists, have told us that there is no similar natural formation like that anywhere else in the world. And the implication, if it's not a natural formation, is that it may be man-made.
The Dead Sea, for the first time in eternity, had hinted at a guilty secret beneath its acrid waves. Mike Sanders knew he couldn't rest until he'd gone where no man had been for thousands of years, back to Sodom and Gomorrah.
There's only one way to find out the true answer. We have to take a submarine and look.